Hey y'all, Bloodwing here. Back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. You'll have to excuse me, I was just coughing. And welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where you get an extra healthy side helping today of country fried steak, mashed potatoes, and fresh from the garden green beans. That sounds good to me. Hope y'all have had a good weekend. As you can tell, excuse me, I'm still trying to cough here. As you can tell, Irate Bear is not with us yet, but he is coming. Never fear, he'll be here. You know, he's just got to eat him some victuals. So he'll be finishing that up and joining us momentarily. But in the meantime, I will do my very best to entertain you and keep your attention all by my own lonesome. So yeah, hope everybody had a good weekend. Like I said, I hope all the fathers out there had a good Father's Day. Mama Minnie, hey baby, I was just going to talk about you here in a minute. Since this is the first live stream since Father's Day, yeah, I hope you all had a good day on that day. I had an excellent day. And speaking of Mama Manny, my day started with a very sweet text message from her. As most of you know, she's my oldest daughter. Yes, you did do it. In this case, you sure did. Now, I was going to share it on Twitter, but, you know, I'm such a boomer, I can't figure out how to do a screen cap on my phone. You know, I know all about computers. I can do computers all day. I could take one down in a dark room with my eyes closed and put it back together. But, who's there? Oh, quicker than I thought you'd be.
Same.
Sounds like you still got a mouthful.
I'm just trying to get the meat out of my teeth.
Oh, what'd you have?
I had lamb.
Oh, lamb. I don't know that I've ever ate lamb.
It's delicious.
Just never had the opportunity. It's just not a thing in my area. You know, not too many people eat it around here. It's more, you know, beef, pork, and chicken when we're talking about rednecks.
I think you'd like lamb.
Probably would. I am definitely a meat eater. Mama Minnie says the down volume button and the power button. I think that, yeah, you're probably right. But you know me and my shaky hands of coordination. I just can't figure it out.
And no, James, it wasn't minted lamb. It was delightful.
But I was just telling the chat, I hoped that they had a good Father's Day. How about you, Bear? How was yours?
It was okay. The boys scared the shit out of me by obviously exploding through my bedroom door, waking me up in the process. Happy Father's Day. Gave me a card, gave me a hoofing bar of chocolate. Didn't get my mug, much to my detriment.
Yeah. I feel you. As I've got older, you know, I've never been much of a goosey person, and by that I mean, you know, hard to scare. You can't scare me too easily.
Well, I was asleep, so that's not fair.
Startled. Yeah, right. But that's what I mean. In my later years, I've got very easy to startle me while I'm asleep, because I am kind of a light sleeper. So when someone walks in the room, I kind of know it, even if I don't hear it. I just sense it.
Yeah,
and I'll just like, oh crap, who is that? What the heck? My wife is always scaring me by walking in the room. But no, I was just saying that on my Father's Day, I had a very sweet text message from my oldest daughter, Mama Minnie.
Hi, sis.
Sitting out there, and I want to read it for y'all, just to tell you.
Do you have permission? Because you're leaking DMs right now.
It goes like this. Happy Father's Day, old man. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but I'm glad God gave me you as a dad. You taught me strength, helped me become the woman I am today. These past few years have been rough on me, and I couldn't have done them without you. So thanks for being you, and enjoy your day. Love you, and love you too, baby.
Oh, it's really nice, actually.
Yeah. And who's cutting onions? So yeah, I had that. That was that beats any mug in my book. Although I'll take any coffee mug you want to throw at me. It'll sure go to use.
Well, we know that. Yeah.
My youngest daughter actually gave me this little red plastic coffee mug. Got nothing on it. It's just plain red and plastic for Father's Day when she was about 4 or 5 years old. And I still got that thing up in the cabinet.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, hope everybody, glad everybody had good weekends, it apparently seems.
I believe so. Everyone had a nice time.
Apologize if like I said, when the stream started, as soon as I hit start the stream, I started coughing and started choking. So I started the stream kind of sounding rough.
That's how I started my day.
Yeah.
There's coughing and spluttering. If I nearly threw up, I was coughing that hard.
Yeah, I darn near did. I thought I had it over, and then I hit the button, and nope, I wasn't done. Water the throat there a little bit. Oh, thank you. Well, not water it, Mountain Dew it. Thank you. Next 6 minutes. Happy belated Father's Day, gents. Bro hugs, BW and Bear. Thank you, buddy. Same to you. Same to you.
Well, don't touch me. But
yeah, I'm kind of. Well, not kind of. I'm a lot the same way. I have personal space issues. The only people that can invade my personal space and not trigger me are my grandkids, and I don't know why that is, but
yeah.
But
Alfie invaded my personal space earlier, and I tolerated it.
I mean,
for a period of time.
I'm so bad that even my own dear mother, who I loved very much, I've often admitted I was a mama's boy. I'm not ashamed to admit it. And she would come up behind me and like pick lint. You know, she was good about picking lint off the back of your shirt or fixing your shirt collar, you know.
Yeah.
And she'd go do that, and I'd tense up like, and of course, then that would warrant a smack in the back of the head. Oh, stop it. From my mom.
Yeah, I'm not really one I don't mind being touched. It's when I'm doing something. I'm not to be fiddled with. I have a very short temperament if I'm doing something, you know.
Yeah, well, my dad's kind of got space issues, and that's probably inherited it from him. BG says you wouldn't have so many problems if you cut back, or better, completely quit smoking. Yeah, I know, right? I'm working on it. I really have cut down. I really have. I just can't quite take that, just stop it step yet. Oh, Mama Manny says, speaking of grandkids, your bulldozer decided to inform me after I mowed it all down today that I just plumb mowed over a huge patch of rhubarb in my backyard. Sorry, Dad. Laugh out loud. How dare you? That is sacrilege, because she knows my favorite pie in all the world is rhubarb pie. How dare you? You've
just ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
I wanted some rhubarb pie, but
yeah,
not going to happen now, is it?
Bulldozer, you should have been quicker on telling your mom. Daggum, it's your fault, boy.
Speaking of blaming kids,
yeah.
The video that I'm releasing on Irate Alex after this stream is going to be on Fortnite, and how these articles keep coming out about kids who are, you know, unruly and losing their tempers and stuff, and like being aggressive and violent with their parents, or being gobby or staying up all night. I've done a video on that.
Well, see, that right there is parents' fault.
Well, no spoilers or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, folks, I love my children. I love them to death. But you can't be their buddy and be their parent at the same time. You got to be able to put your foot down.
Oh, I've told my kids that many a time. So I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
I'm not your mate.
Trust me on
your
this.
Parent.
As you and they get older, there's plenty of time to be their friend later. For the first 18 or so years of their life, you got to be their parent.
Yeah, they turn 18, go, right, you can buy me a drink now.
Yeah.
Well,
not in my state,
the UK. But well, at least in the UK anyway. But
yeah, you got to be 21 here.
Yeah.
Grill and Pirate Pete asks if I got any damage from the tornadoes. No, but
you did shoot one to death.
Well, the sirens were going off the other night. You were probably in bed by the time I tweeted that.
Yeah.
I had laid down for a nap and wasn't down for very long, and I heard a sound, and I thought, is that what I think it is? So I got up, because I keep a fan running in the bedroom all the time, because I needed to sleep, and walked out of the bedroom, and sure enough, it was the tornado sirens. And although it wasn't bad here, but we did get some flooding. In fact, the water got up to the axles of my pickup truck. So Mama Minnie says, my dad and I were not friends growing up. Yeah, that's an understatement. Can't say the same now, but we were not. My kids know they don't have to fear me, but they will respect me. Yeah, we bumped a lot of heads, especially as she got to be a teenager. She was the one I would get the calls from. This is Sergeant so-and-so from the Shelbyville Police Department. Do you know where your daughter is? Well, since you're calling me, I thought I did, but since you're calling me, I'm imagining I don't. But yeah, we got through it. Trust me, folks, those teenage years are tough, but you can get through it. Just patience.
Yeah, tell me about it. But the thing is my eldest, he's like, Dad, can I have a gaming laptop for Christmas? And I'm like, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And I walked away and I came back and I was like, right then, if you want it, you're going to have to work for it, son.
Yeah.
You are going to have to work for it.
Maddie says, I've never rhubarb anything. Oh, my mammy, my paternal grandmother, my dad's mom, every year for my birthday would make me a rhubarb pie. And even when she got so old that she couldn't see to make it anymore, she'd make sure somebody went to the store and bought me one, and then would apologize that it wasn't homemade. And I'm like, Mammy, don't worry about it. I appreciate it. A good rhubarb pie with some strawberries in it. Oh, it's tart, but sweet, and it's good. Very good. But yeah, so what else is going on other than Father's Day? What else has happened this weekend for you?
Not a lot for me, other than, anime things, which we obviously won't discuss. But I watched a show that I said that I wouldn't, basically.
Yeah.
What
was that?
Weekend. It's a show called High School DxD.
Oh,
it's very risque, very naughty, lots of nudity, that type of stuff, for heavy sexual themes. And the reason why I didn't really want to kind of like watch it is I first tried it last year, and the first 2 episodes were very American Pie style humor. And I was just like, no. But it got better, and it got better and better and better. So I'm happy with that. Not a lot other than that, mate. I made my video. That's going to come out after the stream. What I did was to make the video a bit more interesting is I found a website where they have like these reviews of games by parents and the kids. And I'm reading through these reviews of Fortnite, right, by the parents, and these people just have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, we can go through some of them if you want in a bit. Because they are absolutely hilarious. These parents just, It's like they're being naive on purpose.
Yep.
You know, like, oh, violence in video games. I'm like, well, it's Fortnite. Come on.
Yeah. Which isn't that great a game, in my opinion. Now, this is my opinion. Don't come at me if you like it. I just didn't like it.
I don't think anybody's going to contest you in this chat, mate. To be honest with you, I also have Fortnite. I've tried it, as you know. I've tried Battle Royale, and I've tried like the story mode, and I've tried playing it with friends and stuff. It's not for me.
Yeah, I know my oldest grandson is all about it, or used to be, but yeah, I'm just like, yeah. Angry Illinoisan, yeah, it says my dad and I didn't see eye to eye until I got myself in the military. That was pretty much the turning point for Mama Minnie and I when she joined the Marine Corps. It was about that time that our relationship started to change for the better. BG Bloodwing, just remember Mama Minnie's revenge of your parents and how you were as a kid. Oh, good Lord, I hope not, because she's never been anywhere near that bad. Woo. Yeah, there was one thing that happened on my weekend that I kind of fanboyed about.
Oh,
yeah. Yesterday,
all my troubles seem so far away.
Yeah, I tweeted at William Shatner.
You did?
The actor, yes.
Yeah.
And not only did he like my tweet, but he quote tweeted it and replied.
Oh, snap, did he?
Yeah, I was fanboying, not just because he's, Star Trek and he's an actor and he's a celebrity. It ain't that, folks. If you don't follow him on Twitter, do it. He is a Twitter legend. The man is 80 years old and is smacking Twitter trolls left and right and just owning them like a boss.
Yeah, he is. I've been following him for a while now, actually. Yeah, he's hilarious. I'm just looking for it. Where did he must have, what day was it he quote tweeted you on?
It was yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just he tweets a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. Somebody tweeted him and said that most 80-year-olds by now have learned to be kinder. Maybe you should take notice or something like that. And I tweeted, I don't know how many 80-year-olds this guy knows, but I know in my case, the older I get, the less likely I am to put up with idiots. And I'm only 59. So you keep doing you, Bill.
Oh, where is it? I'm still sifting. He does tweet a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
See, where's the wing? Where's the blood of wings?
You'd probably find it quicker if you looked at my timeline.
I could do that. I mean, that would make sense. But, I'm not about that, I'm not about... there it is, found it. Nice. So you tweeted out, it makes me wonder how many 80-year-olds they know. In my experience, as I've aged, I find myself far less apt to suffer stupidity. And I'm only 59. You just keep being you, Captain. And you quote tweeted you saying, what's a bigger wonder is he started the account 7 years ago. He's done 37 tweets and has 7 followers. Lots of 7s there. How does he even know how to act on social media? Yeah. So I was fanboying a little bit yesterday, I will admit. I was like, wow, he actually replied. There you go. That's a retweet as well. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, there was that. And of course, I had the premiere of episode number 2 of Redneck Trek. How'd that go? I did retweet it out, but I've not watched it yet. Went really well, I think. And we'll talk about that a little bit here in a little bit. That's one of the things, the title is Updates Upcoming in Unreal. The Unreal part was William Shatner retweeting. But yeah, if you've got Twitter and you don't follow Shatner on Twitter, do yourself a favor and follow him just to keep an eye on it. The man is a boss. He is a boss at smacking trolls. He won't get political, and if you try getting political in a tweet with him, he'll block you. He don't play. But, that's fair enough. Yeah, it looks like he gets enough abuse, to be honest. Oh, yeah, he does. But anyway, yeah, there was that. Also, to those, this is upcoming. To those that care. I was talking to my son, Jay Kidd, the other day. And in fact, it was right after Saturday's stream. He asked me to
help him test out a microphone. So I opened a private hangout, and we were in there talking for a while. And he wants to bring back our NFL streams this season.
Yep, I saw you tweeting about that.
So be on the lookout for that if you care anything about that sort of thing. And if you don't, I understand. I know a lot of you aren't even Americans, so why would you? But yeah, there'll be that coming back. Thank you,
surprising
Cryptic.
amount of British fans, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, well, there is the games they play over there, so every year. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. I needed a password 8 characters long, so I picked Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Okay. Woo, Cryptic, starting the day off right. But I have reached out. If you remember, the person that used to go by Minding Freedom, he goes by something Badger now.
Sweaty Badger, German boy,
was part of that panel. I reached out to him and asked him if he'd be willing to do it again. He said if he had time, he would love to. So we'll see how that goes. If not, I'm sure it won't be too hard to figure out a third, because it seems to work best with 3 people. But yeah, that will be happening probably at the start of preseason. So we've got about a month or so to go before you'll be seeing that. But be on the lookout for that if you care. The only thing about that is that happened on Saturday, so I'll probably have to reschedule the Saturday edition of Redneck Radio when that starts. Might have to push it back to Friday or something, or maybe forward to Sunday. We'll have to see.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. So guys, yeah, if you're into your food bar, make sure you check that out.
Yeah,
make sure you check that out. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm glad you're going back to doing it, mate.
Yeah, we really enjoy it. Of course, J-Kid and I just really love our football. Just really love our football, and it's fun to get out there. And folks, if you're not familiar with my son, he's even meaner than I am. So even if you don't like football, you should tune in just to hear the things that he says to Minding Freedom. So, because he doesn't pull any punches. But yeah. Updates. Speaking of Redneck Track. Well, let me start by saying I want to tell you a little funny story that's happened in my household. Not funny, haha, but funny as WTF. Kind of funny. As most of you have probably realized by now, but been too kind to point out, the old man here has a slight stutter. I stutter sometimes. And I've known it all my life. I just don't point it out or bring attention to it and just go on because I don't care.
I've got one too, and unfortunately for me, people have a bad habit of telling me about it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it usually happens for me when my brain outruns my tongue. And it's been kind of obvious in the first 2 episodes of Redneck Radio. A little of that is on purpose because I envision Billy Joe Bob is having a little bit of a stutter, But a lot of it's not on purpose. If you don't know, my regular content I usually do without a script. I have pretty much in my mind what I want to say, and I go. And that works for me there, but that's usually just one topic that I'm focusing on, so I know where I'm going, and my stutter doesn't show up on that as much. But when you're doing something like Redneck Trek, where it's all kinds of different dialogue, and you're trying to get in the flow of it, and as it happens, that's a different story. So what I'm probably going to do is... it would be way too difficult to entirely script out, but I'm probably going to try by the next episode making an outline, at least an outline to go by, and see if I can't cut down on a little bit of that. But
As you know, I have similar issues, which is why I script my videos. Well, I rate bear videos anyway. I can't script if I'm on camera. If you're wondering what that sound is, that's me cleaning my pop filter. Yeah, I can't do it. There's a reason why I rate Alex is like a jump cut ninja channel. Because my mind would go blank when I'm speaking. So I get you, dude.
It is my stutter's not like I hit a certain letter like B and a but my brain starts to outrun my tongue, and I'll do and I'll do that. Sound like an old car trying to start up.
Yeah. I've noticed you also do a thing that I do where you're explaining something and you go and then you go silent and you're trying to restart the engine. You basically just stalled the engine.
Yep.
You're like, oh no, what was I saying?
But as I was saying, I wanted to. I kind of got off this track a little bit. Something odd that happened in my household last week. Sometime it was after one of the streams. I'm sitting here and my wife had been over in the corner where she's on her computer, and she looks up. She goes, you stutter. And I looked over at her and I'm like, it took you 36 years to come to that conclusion. Where you been?
Oh, you now just started listening, apparently.
Yeah. I told that to Jay Kid, and he just rolled his eyes like, oh my God. Because all my kids are aware of it, because they'll pick at me at it a little bit. But
yeah,
that's all in fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I had a job interview, didn't I? I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, a massive anxiety with it. Not because I was afraid of like not getting it or getting it or whatever. Obviously, people don't know. Only a few select people are told actually know where or what the job is, including Budwing. The anxiety came from a place of attitude, if you like, a certain perception of it, and I managed to fight through it. I mean, I had 2 panic attacks. I had one at home and I had one in the car park, sat in my car, and I basically got through it by calling myself a pussy. And sorry, excuse me. I got out of the car, and that was it. I did it, but because of it, like there were a couple of questions that that's the thing with anxiety, right? Is you can answer most questions, but when it comes to actual thinking or any kind of creativity, like I was asked these 2 different, quite creative questions, if you will, and I just couldn't do it, couldn't answer them. But I think it went okay. But on the plus side, A, I don't really want the job anyway, and B, I was sent an email today by my jobs advisor. Yeah, and there's a jobs fair on Friday, and I'm going to that first thing in the morning. There could be employers there that are looking to hire people, and hopefully something will come out of it.
Yeah, just put your best foot forward, dude.
Yeah.
Just pretend you're on a live stream and just because you can talk, So.
Oh, I know. I can talk. I can talk bollocks for hours and hours and hours.
I didn't mean it that way, but since you bring it up, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can. I'm a regular chatterbox. What can I say? I can sit here and talk shit for hours without even having a co-host. So
yeah. Mama Minnie, he sounds like Porky Pig when he gets going. Talk about my stutter. I do. I do.
You do. That's all, folks.
Pretty much.
Oh, the wife, Vanilla Bear, she sent an article for this stream. So did Perfectly Fair Delusions, which I did send to you in the DUMS.
Yep.
Because it was too late for me to have it on Ghost Poo.
Yeah.
I think you'd be pretty interested. Oh shit! I just closed the fucking stream. What am I doing? I'm a dildo. I'm a big floppy dildo. Okay, let me just pop the chat out because I like to be able to see it. There we go. You don't mind if I go through it, do you, mate?
No, go ahead.
Good, because otherwise we're having some quiet time. You're gonna love this. You ready? Is your body ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Condoms that change color in contact with STD win Tech Award.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for bursting my bubble.
Sorry about that.
Bob City said, I got back into work after 2 years off from anxiety from a job fair. Oh, cool. Maybe I'll have similar luck to you, and hopefully be something that I actually want to do. Oh, this is old. This is really old. A woman
Kind of defeats the purpose, though. Wouldn't you really want to know somebody's got an STD before you stick it in?
Well, I mean, you got the condom on. I mean,
Yeah.
we had this conversation on Breakfast with Bear this morning.
Yeah.
I think it's like 85% like protection that condoms will give you from STIs.
Right.
So like that's nowhere near as high as the protection of obviously, procreating. Getting a lady preggers, for those who don't know what I just said. So what you want really is to just give her the tip, and just pull it back out again, and then look down. If it changes color, then you don't go in,
Yeah. Kyler, I don't know if it changes color depending on the strain of VD. The picture I saw on Twitter that accompanied the article showed condoms on several different colors, but that just may have been a picture they had with it.
What is VD?
Venereal disease. It's what we used to call them before they were called STDs.
Oh, they're called STIs now, by the way.
Or STI, whatever.
Yeah.
We called them VD or venereal disease for decades.
Does it have a list of what it fucking does? No. It's very old anyway.
Yeah, Maddie says old. It's supposed to, and she's talking about changing different colors, but it's still just a concept and not an actual product yet.
Well, I mean, the article is from 2015, so it probably is a product by now. But yeah. Oh, I thought it was something new. My bad.
Yeah,
it's not very nice, Kyler. I don't appreciate that kind of language in these parts.
I mean, I'm with him. I tend to call it VD too, and then people, younger people will look at me like, "What the heck's VD?" Gonorrhea, syphilis, the crabs, all that stuff.
Yeah, STIs then. STIs.
Yeah,
sexy infections.
Oh, there was one other thing, just to bring us back to Redneck Trek, for a little bit. As I said, this last episode went really well. A lot of people seem to think it was better than the first episode, and I appreciate that. I did work a little harder on it, actually. But I've also seen some comments that they thought it was too short because I kept this one to 15 minutes where the first one was 25. I did that because, according to my analytics, on the first episode, people were only watching about half of it, according to the analytics, because, you could see watch time and all that stuff. But I've got complaints that the 15 minutes is too short. So to those of you that have watched it and enjoyed it, let me know out there in the chat. Do you want me to go longer? Because trust me, if you know me at all, you know I have no problem doing long videos.
I mean, it's not really a choice on his part. He's just very slow, man.
Yeah. But if you want to go longer, I can do that. Or do you want to keep with the 15 minutes? Because I want to give you guys what you want with this, because I really want to make this a thing. I enjoy doing it. And I want to make it a thing.
He wants to know if you just want the tip, or all the length.
Yeah. Jedi Ghost Bear, that was my fault blowing. I watched the first episode in 2 halves. No, that's cool. I understand that things happen. I've done that oftentimes. Start a video and then something comes up. You got to turn it off, come back to it later. And some, I think that analytics is a little off sometimes too. because when I looked at the analytics of the second episode, the watch time minutes, the average minutes, were exactly the same as the first episode to the second. I'm like, something ain't right there, because this one was shorter. But yeah. Anyway,
Van wants the left. He doesn't want the girth.
Yeah. Yeah, because I really do want to make this a thing. And I'd like to get the word spread. And, you know, I want to keep working on it and making it better, more professional looking, maybe a little slicker, you know. And who knows what's in store for it later. Maybe there'll even be some voice work in store for certain people.
I don't know who he's talking about, though. But
but yeah, I want to make this a thing. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. And
who do you want me to play, old man?
Well, I was playing the other day, and the ship's computer come on and said something, which it does every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought, you know, it would be hilarious if Lord Bear was my ship's computer, and was very sarcastic.
Well, you know, the thing is, as time's gone on, like Lord Bear was a very different person to me when I first created him.
Yeah.
And you know what? As time's gone on, we're a lot closer to each other in terms of personality than what we used to be. He has all of my sarcasm now. So yeah, give me a script, my dude. Give me some directions, and I'll do it for you.
Yeah. Maddie says, oh, the people's trying to get her to come on. Not today. Hubby is here and sitting next to me, which makes streaming a tad hard when he starts yelling at League of Legends. Well, reach over there and hit him on the shoulder and tell Ronan I said, hey.
Yeah. Slap him around the back of the head from me and tell him to stop playing terrible games.
Mama Minnie says Bear can play Earthworm Jim. Well, I see that at least she's watched it. So
there you go.
Yeah, because Earthworm Jim is one of the characters in it. So yeah. So there's I think that's all my updates upcoming, and of course the one Unreal.
Cool.
So
yeah, that to look forward to, guys.
Yeah. Okay, and my brain just went dead, as you could tell by the dead air.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing. Like, where you going?
It went blank. It was like, yeah, battery's dead.
I can hear the clocks, you know, cranking away there. But yeah. Lord Bear's not the only type of voice I can do, guys.
Oh, no. And he's going to do, when and if I ever get the script straightened out for the dramatic series I'm going to do, he's going to do some characters for me for that. In fact, Bear will be the first bit of voice work that I'll have, because the first episode will be pretty much just me and him introducing the world and the character. Mama Minnie says, and Taco. Yeah, I give it every time you talk to her. Yeah, Taco's recurring because she does end up being his first officer. So
what I'll do is as well, mate, is I'll send you over the Audacity file. So you can do the audio editing yourself for it, because I have no idea like what's in your mind for it. So
yeah. Oh, Mama Minnie, by the way, has Ryan seen it? Because, you know, I know he's as big a nerd as we are, so I would like to know what he thought about it. Ryan's her boyfriend, not to give away too much. But will you be running lightning across the neutral zone, Blood? There's an idea now. I can use that data. I can use that. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's of course, in Star Wars Online actually happens like 22 years after DS9 ended. So there is no real neutral zone at that time, because they are at war again with the Klingons, and the Romulan homeworld has been destroyed by a supernova.
Spoilers, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's upcoming. The next few episodes I do will probably still just be me because I've already got that footage already filmed. Um, but when I start getting into new territory, yeah, I'm definitely thinking about some voice work and so forth.
Della Hayes, you and me are gonna have words, mate.
Uh-oh, what do you do?
He didn't tag you in it for
Yeah.
some weird reason, but he tagged me and Sinatra. Obviously, Sinatra's gonna grab that for a soundbite. He clipped me when I called myself a dildo. Don't know why he didn't tag Bloodwing, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I Captain Archer, yeah. Well, yeah, but see, Billy Joe Bob, which is the character's name, his hero is Captain Kirk because Captain Kirk was this ladies' man, and Billy Joe Bob thinks he is, but he's not. So that's his hero.
Don't retweet it, Kyla. Right, you're all getting blocked.
Blocks for everybody. You get a block, and you get a block, and everybody gets a block.
Need to be more mindful on live streams.
But before we move on to bigger and better things here, Bear, I know it. Well, it's not really all that. Boy, it's been 45 minutes already. Whew. How time flies when you're having fun. I've got to run to the restroom.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. I'll be right
You've got to drain the weasel. Maddie says that she can do a Cockney voice. No, you cannot. I'd be very surprised. Very, very surprised. Better stop being as sensitive as clit. Well, when you learn to type English, mate, well, we can talk about that if you like. I've not blocked you anyway, so shut up. I can too. I practice. No, you can't. I imagine it sounds a little something like this. Hello, governor. Would you like a cup of tea and a crumpet? No, I can do a Cockney accent because I'm from that neck of the woods, but I seriously doubt that you can. Peter, you're a mank. You can't do a Cockney accent either, so shush. How did I meet Bloodwing? On a live stream with Bass Mama back in the day. Back in the day when we all used to stream with each other. We used to pop onto each other's streams all the time. Way before super chats ever existed, and those streams used to last for about 12 hours, And of course, like back then, like most of us used Google Hangouts, so the streams would die at the 8-hour mark, and then they'd start up a new one, and boom, they would go again for another 4 hours, And those hours would go on for, I mean, they'd start off about what, friggin', I don't know, 7 British time, probably end. It would still be going by the time I'd wake up. The streams were ridiculous. And I met all kinds of different creators on those streams, man. I met loads of people. I met some scumbags and I met some good people too. Much like, yeah, I'm aware the Hangouts is being killed off. I'm aware that it is. We did mention that on the last stream. There is no date for it yet, though.
What did we mention on the last stream?
How Hangouts is going to be killed off.
Yeah, I've been doing a little research on that. For everything that I can find, and you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find any concrete facts on it. It's just not out there. But it looks as if they're looking at October to end Hangouts on air.
Yeah. Are they not moving it to a different browser?
They are moving it to a different program. Not real sure how that's going to work. Monkey on his Monkey in the Morning this morning said that he thought it was going to a program that, and if you click the link that's been popping up lately to remind everybody that they're doing away with it when you open a Hangout, it takes you to well, it's still up in this Hangout. What's it say? It says it goes to a webcam type thing. So according to him, you have to have a working webcam for it to work. Now, I'm not against showing my face. I've showed my face before, so I don't have that problem. Monkey does because he likes to not show his face. But I don't always want to show my face. Like right now, if I put myself on camera, it would not be a good thing for y'all because my hair's like sticking up all over everywhere, and I'm in my PJs, and it's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight. But yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of information out there on it. It's surprising for something that they're going to pull off pretty soon. There's surprisingly very little information. But as far as I know, that's it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you could help Bloodwing, keep him on the air and help him get a brand new laptop that can handle OBS by donating to his Streamlabs.
Yeah. Yeah, because like in Monkey's case, he can't do OBS because of his internet doesn't have good speeds, and he's out in the middle of the boonies, so he doesn't have a lot of choice. Mine's not that. I get pretty good speeds. Is that my laptop is a boat anchor, to be honest. It won't handle it. We did try it. If some of you remember, we tried it one day. Did not work out well, but we tried it. So yeah, maybe one of these days I get me a new computer and we won't have to worry about that. My hope is that they at least make it, even though you've got to have a camera to use the program, they make it like Hangouts automatically defaults with the camera on, and you have to click it off before you come in. And hopefully it'll be something like that where you can turn it off. We'll see. Nobody really knows yet. We're just all speculating and groping in the dark because Google, in their infinite wisdom, hasn't released a whole lot of information about it.
Yeah. Well, of course they haven't. Of course they haven't. It's a pain in the arse, man, because it doubles up as an encoder, as well as like a method of communication,
Yeah. But and which reminds me, this is completely off topic. There was one other thing that happened this weekend for me that I'd forgot. Also on Saturday was a busy day for me. Saturday I done my stream, and I was so tired after the stream I wanted to lay down. And that's when I heard the tornado sirens and got up, started watching the weather. And then I get not only much later that night did I edit episode 2 of Redneck Trek. At the very last minute, at like 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, and it starts at 9, I get an invite to Lords of the Night. So yeah, there was that. I was on Lords of the Night on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice time.
Yeah, had a good time. I was really beat by the time I got done. But I did go ahead and re-record some of because I wasn't real happy with some of the audio I'd recorded for episode 2. And so I re-recorded, and boy, you could tell when I was cleaning it up, it for some reason come out louder, but I was so much hoarser in the re-record because I was so tired. But yeah, had a good time.
Oh, good. Glad. Grilling Pirate Pete's right. Send some of that McGod camera money to Bloodwing for a new computer. The wife has been sending me DMs. Is she going to quote tweet me? Oh, she quote tweeted me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, excuse me, one moment.
Uh-oh. Are you trying to stir the pot, Vanilla?
No, it's not her.
Oh.
It's Amberlyn Reed.
Oh, ain't she that chubby girl?
Mm-hmm.
Toasted, I don't know. Monkey, as is the case with every episode, gets a link, and he will show up if he can. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so what else we got? Chubby is a kind word. Yeah, I was trying to. It was the first thing that popped to mind. You know, I guess it would have been more accurate to said land whale, but
if she keeps quote tweeting me, right, there will be a video made. And I promised I'd never make another video on that fat bitch, but it will be done. Yes, I asked the woman to send me a link to an article that she screenshot for me, which I thank you very much, woman. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do find your particular vernacular appreciative, madam. See, my southern gentleman's getting it better, isn't it?
Yeah, that was not too bad. I could at least tell what you were going for there. Yeah.
Well, woo, yeah. My name Bloodwing, and welcome to Redneck Radio. Now hold my beer. It's a bit of news because, as you know, Bloodwing, the Theresa May is in the process of stepping down. She's still the prime minister until a new leader is elected.
Right.
And the race for the leadership is on. And basically, Boris Johnson, who I'm sure you're aware of, has been compared to Hitler in the last couple of days, much how Trump was when he was running.
Yeah.
He's very much our Trump. He's just not as purposely, what would the word be?
Trollish.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. He's not as openly aggressive and openly trollish, but
yeah, Trump is a troll. There's no two ways about it. I don't care
I did
which
say
side of it you stay on. Trump is a troll.
Trump's methods and stuff they are it's very smart. It keeps the mainstream media's eyes on him. That's what he wants. But with Boris, he's been getting the same kind of attention from the British media. Except he hasn't been acting like a troll, and they've been digging into his past and the things that he said. Now, oh no. Well, that's not good news. That is definitely not good news. 5 of the 10 candidates have been eliminated from the race, and that's and Dominic Raab, who was my horse, has been knocked out. Yeah, and that leaves Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, Jeremy Hunt, Rory Stewart, and Sajid David. I didn't even have to read the names. I know them all off by heart now. That's not good. That is not good. Oh no. I know you don't know a great deal about British politics.
No, I don't. I am familiar with some of them, like Boris, and
you're aware of Boris. Like he used to be like London mayor. He was the one who got stuck on a zip line.
Yeah.
He used to be foreign secretary. He's a very colorful character. You know, he's a little bit out there. I think his kind of like ideals line up a lot closer to Trump. Michael Gove's a weasel. Jeremy Hunt, who is actually hated in many parts of the country because he was once health secretary, and like you know how the NHS is like a massive like divisive topic over here. He wasn't doing good things with that. Rory Stewart kind of looks like you take his lunch money, you know, and Sajid David looks a bit like an egg.
Like an egg, like Humpty Dumpty.
I'll share a screen. You'll be able to tell by the guy's name which one's Sajid. If you look, I'm screen sharing now. Can you tell which one of those is Sajid?
The one to the far right.
Yeah. What annoys me is he's used a little bit of idpol in his arguments. Since he's announced his position to get in the race. So I don't really like that. So I guess I now have to back Boris. I have to back Hitler now. It's really funny, man. Oh, she's actually replying to me. Yeah, sorry. There was an article I read, and it said that his popularity was comparable to that of Hitler's.
So fat girl's replying to you, is she?
Yeah, she didn't quote to me this time.
Well, at least there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But you saying literally Hitler made me think of something else. Not to get us off track, we can come back to it if you want. There was something I seen on Twitter that just cracked me up. There's a little video that's going around. I've seen it on Satsu's. Satsu retweeted it out. And I think it's from InfoWars, which I'm not a fan of, obviously. But, you know, there was some woman at what looked like a gay pride parade. Don't know if you've seen this or not, Bear.
Mm.
Looked like she was at a gay pride parade and was talking to people there and was asking them, do you want to impeach Trump? And of course, they all said, well, yeah, let's impeach Trump. Yeah. And then she's joining right in with, yeah, impeach Trump. Pence for president. The first bunch she talked to didn't catch on right away. And they're like, yeah. And then they thought about it a minute. Oh, wait a minute. What did she say? And she goes, you don't want Pence for president? And they're like, well, no. Well, that's what you get if you impeach Trump, because that's how it works.
Yeah.
And she talked to several different groups in this whatever it was. I'm assuming by the look of it, it was a gay pride parade. And every one of them, like, you know, do you want to impeach Trump? Yeah. And as soon as she'd say, well, Pence for president, they'd look at her like, oh, wait. Maybe we should wait. I thought that was hilarious how clueless people are. You do realize, all you people hollering about impeach Trump, that if you do and he's kicked out of office, Pence is your president, folks. That's how it works.
Yeah. I swear that we've had this conversation with them before.
Yeah. Oh, who knows? Probably. But it's if you see it, give it a little. I've seen it on Satsus, but if you it's making its rounds around Twitter. If you see it, do give it a watch. It's pretty funny to watch these people when realization sets in. You can just see it in their eyes, like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we should just wait. You know, yeah. One says, "Oh, then impeach Pence too." Yeah, right. Yeah, let's tie up the government with 2 back-to-back impeachments. Stupid people.
Yeah. That argument has been out there before.
Yeah. It just amazes me how clueless, and most of these were young people. There was one that was an older guy, but most of them were young people. It's just amazing to me how clueless to our politics our own citizens are. You know, and how it works. You know, and it's obvious that they don't know how it works, or they wouldn't be screaming all about, well, you know how it was when Trump first got elected. Oh, he's going to put us all in concentration camps, and his Nazis are going to be busting down our doors, and we're all going to, which of course none of that happened, because guess what? The president of the United States doesn't have that kind of power.
Yeah.
They don't. We have too many checks and balances. Each branch of government has to answer to another. That's the way it's set up. And it's set up just because so things like that can't happen. People are just so clueless. It just amazes me. What are they teaching these kids in school?
You know, I have to ask myself that on a daily basis, because, well, I have kids that are in school right now, and I have to wonder, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? I did tell my stepson to request a copy of the citizenship curriculum.
Yeah.
of course, the little donut keeps forgetting, doesn't he? So I'm gonna have to do it myself. I want to know what they're being taught.
I'm not sure they're being taught anything. Here where I live, I'm pretty suspect of what they're teaching in history.
Revisionism.
Well, a few years ago, J-Kid was dating this girl.
Oh no!
That God love her. She's the one I've told the story about where I was laying under the car and she asked me what I was doing, and I said, "Well, I just, it was kind of hot out. I couldn't find any shade, so I crawled under here to take a nap." And she said, "Oh, okay, see ya." But she had literally never heard of the American Civil War.
What?
Yeah.
But that's like a massive, massive integral part of your history.
Of course it is.
What?
Yeah, of course it is. She seriously had never heard of the American Civil War.
You'd be telling me next that she doesn't know about the War for Independence.
Yeah, and I had, so I sat here and tried to, with as much patience as I could muster, explain to her about the Civil War.
So J-Kid was punching down for his dating preferences, then.
Yeah. Well, I try not to judge. I try not to judge. She was something else. God love her. Bless her little heart. But yeah, so that just, and I'm not just picking at her. I see that around, and I'm like, well, what are they teaching in history? What are they teaching these kids?
How does she not know about that?
I don't know. I never could figure it out.
There are British children that know more about that. Or they've at least heard about it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's as much that they're not teaching it in school as it was she just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, clearly. Good
Yeah.
Lord. Oh, that's funny. That is very funny.
Yeah, Mama Minnie knows her very well. Mama Minnie used to actually work with her. That's how J-Kid met her.
I bet that was fun.
And she says she was still his. Whoa. Yeah. Not the sharpest pencil in the box by any.
Even if she wasn't the sharpest, tool in the box.
Yeah.
Oh, knife in the drawer. She should have still heard about it. Like, she should still be aware of it. Like, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think. My missus, I'll say it, she was just dumb. Dumb. But
Mr. Dax, when I was in high school, they did not teach us about the War for Independence because we have a lot, way, way, way more history than you.
Yeah. And I would imagine that it probably comes from a little bit different perspective for you.
Well, we didn't learn it at all. So
yeah. Well, even if they did teach it, I could imagine that, here it's taught that it's very patriotic. We were patriots. We fought for our freedom. Over there, we might be seen as
I doubt it, mate.
Traitors.
No, even if they had, I don't think they would have taught it like that anyway. You know how we are about the empire and our guilt.
Yeah.
Plus, what they did do with the history is they obviously did teach us some about that era in time, and they spent a lot more time pointing out how terrible it was for people in England, like press gangs and stuff like that. How awful it was to kind of live underneath like that kind of level of rule, and how grim it was, especially for working class people, the class system and things like that. No, but we spent British schools, at least in my experience anyway, tend to focus way more on things like the Vikings, because obviously that's a huge part of our history right there. We have quite a few royal dynasties that have ruled throughout our history.
Well, yeah.
The Tudors, the Stuarts, and so on and so forth.
I'm sure you cover the War of the Roses. And
Yeah, War of the Roses, World War One and Two.
Yeah.
We even learned about the Korean War. A little bit about Vietnam, not a lot, yeah, lots about the Romans, yeah, because obviously Romans are, well, you know, we wouldn't be where we are today without the Romans.
Right.
Yeah, World War One and Two. We learned about the war with Korea. Not as much on Vietnam as I would have liked. But the reason why that comes up is because we spent a great deal of time on the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
In America, we learned all about that. That was quite a long period of time. Yeah, Cold War stuff. Yeah, Cold War stuff. That's about it, really.
Well, you know, I can't speak for now. I can only speak for when I went to school. And folks, I graduated high school in 1978. So, you know, make of that what you will. But, you know, when I went to school, you covered all the major stuff and all the stuff in between, you know, all that stuff that you've mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, it's certainly Vietnam because, you know, America played such a big part in that. Of course, the Civil War and the Revolutionary War and all those things, World War One, World War Two, Korea, you know, and so on, and the Spanish American War, all that stuff, the Alamo, you know, you learn all about that things. But we went so far that I remember in fourth grade in particular, we focused on the history of our state, you know, where we live, because each state has a different history, you know, and became a part of the Union at a different point in time in history. And, you know, we had to learn all that stuff. And I do know they're not teaching state history anymore. But I don't know about the rest, which is a shame because our state in particular, Indiana, has a very interesting history. We weren't one of the original 13 colonies, of course, but we come along pretty soon after. We become a state in 1816. So this, you know, what, 45, 50 years later. And, you know, our name means land of the Indians. And it's called that because at the time there were more different tribes in Indiana than anywhere else in the country of American Indians. And in fact, there's 2 tribes that still live here yet today. But it's very interesting. Indiana was so full of Indians that you can go out, even to this day, you can go out and dig in your backyard. Like say you're digging up a garden, because this used to happen when we would plow up the garden for Dad, because my dad always had a garden at home, and we, you know, every year you got to plow it up and get it ready for planting and all that. It was pretty common to dig up arrowheads and spearheads, you know, from the American Indians that lived.
How much are they worth?
I probably not much, because they are so common here. I have quite the collection of them put away in Dad's garage somewhere. But yeah, I mean,
it's funny you mentioned that, man, because I think it was a couple of months back now. Obviously, like we have like things like bombs that people are still finding from the Blitz, but they actually dug up a prince from, you know, like pre-Viking days, not that long ago, in like a tomb. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. He was buried kind of like a pharaoh, you know. He was buried with all the with all the riches and stuff like that, you know.
Did they kill all his servants and bury them with him?
I don't think that he did. No, I'm not being sarcastic. Like I can't genuinely remember. It wouldn't have surprised me if that was the case. I mean, they found King Richard in a car park.
I remember seeing a documentary on that.
Yeah, it was King Richard that was under the car park. Yeah, Richard III, I believe.
Mama Minnie says Michigan teaches state history. Bulldozer learned it this year. He knows lots about the Toledo War now and the state bird and flower and the different peninsulas and waters. Boy's a whip. Yes, he is. He's a very smart young man. I'm not surprised, and I'm very pleased that he finds it interesting. Take after his papaw, maybe.
Just kind of like breaking news. AOC has apparently put her mouth in it, or put her foot in it even.
Oh, are we talking about the concentration camp thing?
Yeah.
I was aware of that.
Is the tweet still up? I'd like to see it.
As far as I know, it's still up. Haven't looked for a bit. I seen it earlier today. It was at least as far as earlier today.
Really comparing immigration camps to the Holocaust?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I seen another comment. I was looking at the thread of her original comment, looking through that thread.
Let me just read it to you just to confirm if it's the original one.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's all kinds of crazy stuff on Twitter right now saying this administration has established concentration camps on the southern border of the United States for immigrants, where they are being brutalized with dehumanizing conditions and dying. This is not hyperbole. It is the conclusion of expert analysis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you quoted Esquire.com. Yeah. Very, very, fucking expert there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Really?
and
Oh my
there's
God.
been a couple of American politicians that have come at her about it. I don't remember word for word what they said, but it basically amounted to quit being so dumb and learn history.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen one commenter below her original comment, and there's thousands of them, of course, by this point. But I seen the one says, it's. I can't remember how it was worded, but they were trying to liken all the people coming at AOC as avoiding the fact that they're just like the people that brought slavery and put Japanese Americans in internment camps, during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody come back with like, you mean the Democrats?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was in both cases.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, AOC. Yeah, the camp, the conditions down there might not be the best. What you're overlooking is that in recent days, weeks, Trump he's been trying to get Congress to give him more money to spend so that they're not in such bad shape down there. But nobody talks about that. Orange man bad.
Oh, well, yeah, he is the worst, obviously.
Yeah, and as I alluded to, the president only has a certain amount of power, and he can make all the promises he wants. It's just like with the wall. You know why the wall's not been built? Because he can't get Congress to work with him.
Mm.
So yeah, they don't mention that he's actually trying to raise money to make them better. Make it better conditions down there. And they're not any worse. In fact, it's probably a little bit better than it was when his predecessor, Obama, was in charge. It's it's not a good situation, for sure.
Mm.
But AOC, dummy, Miss Crazy Eyes. Where are the ovens? Where are the mass graves?
Well, of course, her argument is that, something could be a concentration camp and not be a death camp. But they're not really concentration camps either.
Yeah.
I mean, those tents that they've got up look like they're air conditioned. Last time I checked, concentration camps didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah. And if that's deplorable conditions, then what about all our troops that when they are deployed over in like the Middle East certainly spend a lot of time under tents?
Yeah.
That
aren't air conditioned.
Right. And
I mean, looking at them, they kind of look like the tents that the Saudis set up when the refugee crisis first started.
And I will bet you that those tents are better conditions than what they come from. That's why they're trying to get in here.
Yeah.
I will bet you. Yeah. Okay. So maybe not where's the ovens? Where's the mass grave? But where's all the forced labor, the slave labor, and all that? Because that went on too.
I'm just looking up the definition of a concentration camp because it's obviously very skewed here. So a place in which large numbers of people, especially political prisoners or members of persecuted minorities, are deliberately imprisoned in a relatively small area with inadequate facilities. I seriously doubt they have inadequate facilities. In fact, I bet, yeah, like you just said, I bet they have better facilities in that, immigrant camp than what soldiers do. Sometimes to provide forced labor or to await mass execution. The term is most strongly associated with the several hundred camps established by the Nazis in Germany and occupied Europe, among the most infamous being Dachau, Belsen, and Birkenau, Auschwitz. Have a look on Merriam-Webster. A place where large numbers of people, such as prisoners of war. Well, it's not a concentration camp.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the definition of a concentration camp.
Yeah.
And plus, they're all criminals.
Yeah. Is it a detainment camp? Okay, I'll agree with that. But no, it's not a concentration camp. It doesn't fit any of the criteria. There's no mass murder going on. There's no mass graves. There's no enforced slave labor going on. They probably got much better conditions than where they came from. They're probably eating better and better health care than where they came from. That's why they're trying to get here, folks, because their conditions at home were so bad. It just boggles my mind how dumb she is, which just tells me how dumb the people that voted her in were.
It's really not a good idea to use that kind of language. I mean, come on. I mean, there's an article that she shared. An expert on concentration camps says that, well, I wonder what school you have to go to get that degree, says that's exactly what the US is running at the border. Things could be concentration camps without being Dachau or Auschwitz. I'm just trying to look through this. I want to see where the logic is coming from here.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Dax, she pretty much got in because she didn't have any competition. But Grisella brings up a very good point. AOC wasn't thinking of them when Congress wanted their raises, which was the last recent thing she got bashed for because she wanted a raise. And she's been in the job, 170 days or something? But yeah, hey, AOC, instead of taking that raise, why don't you transfer it over to the border camps? They could probably use it.
I'm being challenged.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, Jedi Bear, Ghost Bear says, did you see the latest polls from her district? No, I have not. They aren't exactly pleased with her either, and not surprising. She barely was in office before she run off a huge job opportunity for the area.
So this person who's apparently the exploit in it says, we have what I would call a concentration camp system, Pitzer says. And the definition of that in my book is mass detention of civilians without trial. Okay, well, that's your definition of it then. What's required is a little bit of demystification of it. Says Wade Bjorn, a Holocaust and genocide studies historian and a lecturer at the University of Virginia. Things can be concentration camps without being Dachau or Auschwitz. Concentration camps in general have always been designed at the most basic level to separate one group of people from another group. Well, yeah, because that's what prisons are basically. Usually because the majority group or the creators of the camp deemed the people they're putting in it to be dangerous or undesirable in some way. Not every concentration camp is a death camp. In fact, their primary purpose is rarely extermination and never in the beginning. Often, you notice that use of language there, folks.
I call BS because I do. You all know how I love history. Well, the American Civil War and World War II are my areas. I guess you would call them my areas of expertise because it's what I'm most interested in and what I follow the most. Yes, technically, the camps at first didn't start exterminating people. But do not think for a minute that wasn't the plan to begin with. you know, because the whole thing behind the Thousand Reich was what to do about this Jewish question. How do we get rid of them? And it started off small, you know. It started off with running hoses from the tailpipes of trucks, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where the experiment started.
Yeah, and
That's how the well, that's what they did to the gypsies and the disabled people, didn't they?
yeah. So yeah, even though the camps didn't exterminate people to begin with, don't think that wasn't the plan from the get-go, because there is plenty of documentation that would very clearly point to yes, it was. They just couldn't figure out how best to do it yet.
Obviously, Mr. Dack says, and gays. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mate, but according to the new revisionist history that I've heard, that well, Germany was obviously very gay and trans friendly.
Yeah.
Of course, that was before Hitler came along, but I seriously doubt that. Yeah, obviously, all undesirables, like any obviously Jews and disabled people, and the Soviets they massacred as well are also counted in the numbers. Because that's why Birkenau Auschwitz was built and what was used in the first place and even designed.
Yeah.
It was to make them suffer, to make the Russians suffer.
Yep. Exactly. If you know anything about history and anything particularly about that period of time, there is plenty of documentation that makes it very clear that extermination was their plan to begin with. They just hadn't figured out yet how best to carry it off.
They couldn't sell it to the public either immediately.
Yeah.
Had to be gradual.
Yeah. And Hitler is documented several times of saying he knew the German public wouldn't buy just a quick jump to let's kill all the Jews. He had to gradually work up to it and sell the populace on the idea. Jedi Ghostbear says dollars to donuts. She's going to be primaried out of office. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Although I wouldn't be surprised if she isn't either, because people are just that dumb. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll do that, Jedi Ghost Bear. I will check that. I'm always interested in anything history-wise, but particularly, my particular area of interest is the American Civil War and the period directly before and after, you know, all the events surrounding it, and world history from prior to World War I up until the 1950s. That whole period there. Because I don't see it as two different things like World War I, World War II. In my mind, and I think history bears out that it was really one long event because they all interconnected with the other. Very fascinating to me. Yeah, I know. And I try not to, Lindsay, I'm with you. I try not to be one of these people that is just constantly bashing on AOC, but dadgummit, she makes it so easy. She makes it so easy. You know, actually, I think she's just a dummy. I think Omar and the other chick are far more dangerous than she is as far as being dangerous. She's just stupid.
Yeah, she really is. Yeah.
But having said that, unfortunately, believe it or not, I got to go to the bathroom again, Bear. I don't know what's up. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I haven't drank any more coffee or Mountain Dew than I normally do. It's just hitting me harder. Blame it on my prostate.
You'll get that checked, old man.
Yeah.
You'll get that checked. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're well. I hope you're having a lovely time during the stream. I don't mean to kind of go off on Twitter and stuff. It's just that when people challenge me, I kind of have to take it on, you know? Just give me a moment, if you will, to reply to this. It's not someone challenging me. It's just someone asking me a question. Is he here? Old Grouchy Gamer, are you here? Do you happen to be in the chat by any chance? Drawing Vanilla Bear's commission. Oh, cool, 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 cool. What? Oh, yeah, she wanted you to draw a female version of Uta, didn't she? Yeah, that's cool. I've also added a few extra animus to my to watch list as well earlier on in the stream. I got it bare. I can get fired up when in a conversation. Yeah, same. Yeah. It's not so much that I'm fired up as such. It's just I've seen a couple different things. You know, I've seen Amberlyn Reed, you know, looking like she's. Well, she didn't say that. She didn't directly say she was threatening suicide, but she was saying that, you know, if you get hate on the internet, you know, it can cause suicide. I'm just like, no, that. You know, I had to challenge her, you know, and obviously I'm talking about, you know, the AOC immigration thing with Lozar as well. Obviously, we're debating that, and where is old Grouchy Gamer here? He also wanted to he wanted to know why our politicians all look like they've got a stick up their ass. Well, a punky bear that's inspired by Uta. Okay, fair play. That's fair enough.
Sorry about that, Bear.
That's no problem, mate.
Oh, yeah, y'all get a 2 for today. So depending on what times you picked, 2 people might win the lottery today. The P lottery.
Yeah.
By the way, I had asked a question of Mama Minnie earlier, and I didn't see if she answered it. I asked her if her boyfriend enjoyed Redneck Trek. I wonder if she even answered. Don't know if she's still out there or not. Okay, so AOC is an idiot, confirmed. I think we all knew that.
Yeah, I mean, I get where she's coming from. I do, and I know that, you know, I'm challenging her and obviously arguing about it and whatnot. I get where she's coming from, but come on, it's not a concentration camp. Like the language that you use is important when you're a politician, you know.
Yeah. Oh, thank you to Batman for the donation. Earthworm Jim rules. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Della Hayes is agreeing apparently. So yeah, so you know, the ones that I find dumber, the ones that I find more confusing is the ones on the Democrat side. And I get it, you know, they want to stay true to their party, but just don't seem to realize how dumb they are because they'll defend her.
Yeah.
Or you'll see, oh, give her a break. She's just starting. Why do I got to give her a break? No, she ran on a platform which states that she felt she was ready for the job, that she was prepared for the job, and she could do the job. And since apparently she can't do the job now that she's in, why do I got to give her a break? Yeah, no, no, that they don't wash. Next 6 minutes is what careers should AOC pursue after she's voted out of office? Subway, McDonald's, KFC, or Baskin Robbins? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe she should just go back to tending bar. You know, apparently she was good at that. Oh, Mama Manny says, tried to answer you twice and chat kept deleting my comment. Yeah, stupid YouTube. Ryan loves it. He laughs at your natural redneckisms and innuendos, and he loves the intro. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it. And I won't say any more about the intro because Bear hasn't watched it yet, so he hasn't seen it, and I think he'll get a chuckle out of the intro too.
I will watch it. I will at some point.
You probably didn't see it, but J Kid kind of give a backhanded jab at you last Saturday when he was tweeting out the link to the.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he goes, watch it, since even his internet adopted kids won't do it.
Well, I did retweet it, you know.
No, I get it. Stuff happens and we're busy, and it's kind of late for you. You know, I tried to pick a time that wasn't too late for my UK fans, you know, but since there is, you know, depending on where you are in the US, there can be as much as 5-hour difference. It's a little hard to do.
Mm.
AOC could be the next Monica Lewinsky, Deck Train says. I don't know about that. Have you seen those teeth? I'm not sure I'd want them anywhere near my woo.
Yeah, that's stupid. The language you use as a politician should, you should really think about it, especially you, AOC. Somebody who's very much in the public consciousness and very much on social media and is in the limelight, as one of the three bloody chuckleheads,
Yeah, exactly. I call them the three amigos.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Agent Penis. It's all good here. I will drop my like and be off. I am needed elsewhere. Thanks, man, for the like.
Where else in the world could you say thank you, Agent Penis?
Exactly.
I was sent some news by Perfectly Fair Delusions, who I believe is watching the stream.
Yeah, he was.
And I thought we could just power through that if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
So these are all from the Daily Wire. YouTuber, you must have heard about this. YouTuber protests Trump by buying town and renaming it Gay Hell. Which, at first I thought it was kind of like an anti-LGBT thing. But it's not. There's a town, as you know, called Hell.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah.
And basically, this 25-year-old YouTuber decided that he was going to protest the order to not put LGBT flags up on all of the what are they called? What are they called? Embassies.
Yeah.
Buying the town and renaming it Gay Hell, which I don't think works, if I'm honest with you.
No, because that could be taken two different ways.
Yeah, and I took it as like a kind of like troll.
Yeah, is it hell on the gays?
Yeah.
Or is it hell because of all the gays?
Yeah, And I was just like, well, at first I was like, I laughed at first because I was like, oh, he's an anti-LGBT guy. And then I realized, actually, no, he's bought a town and called it Gay Hell. That'll show Trump. Trump's been defeated.
Yeah, I think maybe he just trolled himself.
How much did that cost him? Gay Hell is located 50 for fuck's sake. It's located 50 miles northwest of Ann Arbor, which with a population of 70. I bet that the population just adores this, by the way, that anyone can come along and just buy the town. And the Batman super chat.
Yeah. Thank you, Batman, for the donation. Maybe we should buy a town and rename it Muhammad's Bacon. I'd be down.
Careful. Just don't stay there. Elijah Daniel tweeted, ahead of Pride Month, Trump's administration put a ban on embassies flying pride flags. So as of today, I am now the owner of Hell, Michigan. I bought the whole town, and my first act as owner, I have renamed my town to Gay Hell. So you could just buy towns apparently, and rename them.
Yeah, I don't think it was incredibly large. I mean, still, it probably cost a pretty penny, but I don't think the town was, like really big.
You're gonna hold a referendum on that shit? Like, let's be democratic about this. Come on. Yeah, he paid $100. Oh, so he could act as mayor for the day. Okay. I have heard of this town before. I couldn't remember that they do this kind of thing. So he bought the town for a day. It's like a little novelty thing. Yeah, I'm Trump defeated.
Yeah.
He's been wrecked. He's been impeached by you doing that. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, Green Thunder, Demighty. There's a couple of towns called Hell in America, including one in Michigan. Yeah, I was thinking that myself. I think there's got to at least be one in the Southwest somewhere.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'll move on quickly. Well, thank you, Perfectly Fair Delusions, for chucking these news articles at me. The next one is that male feminist who roundhouse kicked a pro-life woman. He's just got some bad legal news.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wah, wah. Pro-abortion male feminist Jordan Hunt made headlines in October after he was captured on video roundhouse kicking a pro-life woman who was peacefully demonstrating at a gathering in Canada. For his misdeeds, which include harassment and assault of other pro-lifers, Hunt has been sentenced to 8 months probation. Is that it? And ordered to stay 100 meters away from pro-life rallies. Oh, they should have given him a proper prison sentence.
Yeah, I feel like they should, but
still assault.
Having seen this guy, I'm not sure he can behave himself well enough to just stay on probation because one screw up and he is behind bars.
Yeah, I get it. Like it puts him very much in a right. I better behave myself. And if he does happen to wander within 100 meters of a pro-life rally, that's him nicked. But yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you, Shelley. I mean, it is Canada after all, but
yeah.
Oh, come on, at least 2 or 3 years behind bars. Come on, man. He kicked a woman in the face. Ugh, all right, whatever. Does the story say if it's Hunt's first sentence, they might go soft on him? Probably. Oh, it's his third fucking assault. Well, there you go. Yeah, definitely. Come on. In the UK, you'd get a couple years for that,
Yeah. that was in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. Of course, I don't know the way things go anymore. I can't guarantee that, but I would think here in the States, it would probably nab him a little harsher sentence.
Yeah.
Being that it was his third. On a first offense, maybe, they're going to cut you that kind of slack. But
they should just lock the fucker up. 3 or 4 years behind bars. I think that's acceptable. Brits in the chat, well, help me out here. Would that be ABH? Egregious bodily harm? I don't know. Yeah, the next one. Activists. Oh, God, here we go. Activists push kids attending kinky pride parades. Nobody likes nakedness more than children. I assume this is referencing that video that's been making. Would it be GBH though? It was just kicking someone in the face. Like GBH is obviously gross bodily harm, so that would have to be like drawing blood or something or using a weapon, right? Yeah, I'm sure everyone's seen the video of the kid, who was wearing the very short, tight, jean shorts and was like twerking with all the gayers.
Yeah.
Children really shouldn't be present for that kind of thing. It's degeneracy, debauchery, and disgusting. On Thursday, Huffington Post Canada cited various LGBT activists pushing parents to bring their children to kinky LGBT pride parades. No.
Yeah.
No. No. They're not. Sorry. I prefer to stay indoors. Thank you very much. I'd rather stay at home and play the game Frustration. The Left Wing, which was a great game, by the way, a great board game, yeah. The Left Wing outlet categorized the activists being cited, who included a self-described activist, an LGBT pride parade organizer, and a semi-retired sex therapist. These people are fucking degenerates, they really are. As merely families backing children at pride events. Children do not need to go to pride.
No.
At all. Like, never mind, like, the kinky variant of it. They don't need to go to pride full stop.
No. I mean, bear in mind, I've never been to a pride parade. I haven't felt the need to. But from the videos that I've seen from some of them, maybe not all of them, but some of them, there's some pretty bad stuff happening. I mean, as an adult, I don't even want to see that.
Yeah, I've been to 2 myself. And I can tell you what I saw was not suitable for children.
Well, no.
Manchester Pride have been there twice. So basically what happened is you pay to get onto the street, right? You get your ticket, you go in, and they've obviously got all the bars, the gay bars and whatnot. And they've got like a little market thing in the middle of it all. And you go to the market and it's just dildos.
Yeah.
Just hoofing dildos the size of my arm and little cages, you know? And I'm like, well, this isn't a family event, clearly. And then I went into one of the nightclubs, and there's a group of lads who were wearing spiky leather straps and nothing else.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't prepared for that sight. I was not prepared for it. And, immediately I was like, well, it's a good thing I didn't bring my kids along to this. Yeah, it's not Pride anymore, but it's very corporatized. You know, they jacked the prices up on all the drinks that they sell in all the different bars and stuff like it's London prices now, even in Manchester. You know, it's really stupid, and not just that, but like it's so corporatized and like. Then none of them are. There's no groups of people talking about the Stonewall riots. You know, there's no one talking about rights. Right?
Yeah,
they're all there bum. Right, that is it.
Yeah, and it's like I think it was the last stream I mentioned. I can't the really disgusting behavior that we see, like you're describing, and that we've seen before, and all that. I can't honestly believe that the gay community at large condones that sort of thing. They're probably afraid to say anything, say, hey, maybe don't do that, because surely they've got to realize this is not making their point. Because the average person in the United States, which is who you've got to convince, right? Because you're supposed to be marching for your rights and this, that, and the other, right? So you got to convince the average person in the United States. They're going to look at that and say, oh, heck no. Oh, no. It just, I don't get it. I don't get the world. It don't. I got no problem with it. Whatever your sexuality is, you do you, boo. But this kind of stuff, we don't need to see it, and we sure don't need children to see it. And then I see people on Twitter say, "Well, just don't bring your children." Well, what if it happens in your neighborhood? Or what if you've got to go somewhere in the vicinity? You've got an appointment, and you've got, you're for your kids. You got to bring them along. What about that? Is there a program that tells us which one is family friendly before we go and which one isn't? Yeah. Thank you to Batman for the donation. We need to get dressed in Vault 108 jumpsuits and form a Gary Pride March. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll admit I know very little about the gay community. I'm not that involved in it because I don't care about your sexuality. It's not a big thing to me. I would much rather that these groups get to the point where there's, okay, so you're gay. Okay, so what? Okay, what difference does your sexuality mean? When they get to the point of where it doesn't mean that much to them to promote how how you act sexually and can integrate into society in a peaceful, meaningful way, then there's always going to be separation. Yes, Mama Minnie, I did just say that. But, I hope what I'm saying is making sense, because I don't feel like my words are getting out like they are in my head. But yeah. Thank you, Owen Harmon. I believe everyone is equal before the law. When did that become a controversial point of view? Right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand this. If you want your children to learn that there are gay people out there, in gay relationships, then that's your choice. But I don't think the way to do that is to take them to a gay pride parade. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still arguing with Lozar.
Oh, that's okay. Honey Monster, bring me back the days when gay meant happy and queer meant weird. Yeah, exactly. There's actually here in Indianapolis, there's a string of restaurants that used to be called Gay Dan's. Used to be. I say. Because after the whole gay pride movement took off, they had to change the name, and it's now called Mr. Dan's. So
I'll continue reading the article and then we'll take questions or whatever. But
okay.
Children benefit from seeing people love one another. Not a fucking pride parade, they don't. From seeing diversity and inclusion. Really? I don't think they do. Children suffer from seeing violence and fear, hatred and divisiveness. So, like, what happens if there's like a bunch of TERFs there?
Yeah,
or a couple of bears spanking each other and they think it's violence.
What's people covering themselves in dildos? And I have seen that. Covering themselves in dildos got to do with inclusion and diversity.
Yeah, I don't understand how that helps children.
Yeah.
We found and built our tribe at these gatherings. Yeah, Bummers tribe. Rationalizing kids at kinky pride. Rationalizing kids at kinky pride. Parents, educator, and self-described activist S. Bear Bergman asserted, first of all, nobody likes nakedness more than children. You know what, right? I'm starting a GoFundMe for a plane ticket to Canada. In fact, no, I'm going to stop off in Michigan first, pick up a couple of assault rifles. On the list of things that I don't want my children ever to be exposed to are compulsory heterosexuality, demonstrations of sexism, demonstrations of racism, demonstrations of ableism and violence. So you want kids to go and get naked with a bunch of gayers then? And you lot wonder why, like, people call you pedos. These are all way higher on the list than some homosexuals. Tuckers. You know what? I'd much rather, to be honest with you, have my 6-year-old witness me bitch slap Vanilla Bear than watch some guy with his dick out with a dildo shoved up his fucking ass.
Yeah,
I'm honest with you.
Not their tuchus that I'm worried about. It's the other side. Thank you, the Batman, for the donation. Nakedness to a child is not sexual, though. And yeah, let's back up to that comment. How is it read that there's nothing that kids love more than?
It says, first of all, nobody likes nakedness more than a child, so they want these kids to go along and get naked with them.
Yeah,
pedos.
Yeah, and I can sort of agree with that comment, and that of course young children see no problem with being naked, and there are some kids that just love running around naked. You can't keep them in clothes. It happens, you know, because they're not old enough to have learned, you know, that you should probably cover up under certain conditions. One of my granddaughters, when they lived here, used to come out of the bath, come out in the hallway and shake her butt at me and said, "Look, Papa, I'm naked." I'm like, yeah, get out of here, get some clothes on. So yeah, there's that, but that doesn't mean they like to see naked. God,
this is pedos using social justice language to try to get kids naked and at their pride parade where they can be protected, and you know they can use the facade of hate crime if parents try to say anything, you know.
Yeah, because children like to run around naked doesn't mean they like to see naked.
Yeah,
it can be in fact, it can be very, very traumatizing for a young child to see an adult naked, especially an adult male, because yes, I remember the first time I seen my dad naked at a swimming hole, you know, and we had to go in there and get changed. I'm like, whoa, he's got the same equipment that I do, but it's a whole lot bigger.
Michael, what I meant by that, protected, is that they would be in their, you know, as I said, in the middle of their tribe. They'd be literally stood in the middle of their tribe, you know, so they would be physically protected by the people that are there if a parent tried to step in. You know what I mean? I'm not talking like on the legal standpoint, although even then it is Canada. So, like, you can say what you want about the UK, but Jesus Christ, Canada, what the fuck are you doing?
But yeah, it can be traumatic for a young child to see an adult naked. Yeah, I mean, it can. There's been evidence of it. And there's been instances of, like I said, when I first seen you know, I was probably 6 years old the first time I seen my dad naked, and it was a have-to case because we were going swimming, and we, of course, he took me to the men's side to change. I remember thinking, you know, yeah, that kind of looks like what I got, but it's a whole lot bigger. Whoa, that's kind of scary.
Oh God! Here's the list of things they want their kid to be exposed to. On the list of things that I don't want, or sorry, read that bit. According to Bergman, there's absolutely no reason not to take our kids to Pride. It's a fun day. I can think of lots of reasons. There are a lot of bubbles, rainbow streamers, and enjoyable performances, he said, adding that such parades are cultural festivals to LGBT folk. The thing is, whereas that might be true for some Pride parades, this is a kinky Pride parade.
Yeah.
And there's nakedness. Like you're the guy literally talking about naked children, right? So there's going to be naked men wandering around, naked women as well. And there's going to be some bumming going on. There's going to be some BJs going on, in you know.
Yeah, it's not
openly,
just
like
the nakedness. They act in a very sexual manner at these things. That's the big issue. It's not so much the nakedness. I mean, there's that, but still. Michael Weiner, I don't care what consenting adults do behind closed doors. I don't need to see or know what you do. Exactly. But if you touch a child, you are going to be severely injured. I can't say that I disagree.
Concur. It reads on, it's their right as queer spawn. What?
Yeah. And Joel Brown, and that is the point I was trying to make. Okay, with nudists, if people have their children naked, others aren't allowed to touch anyone. Exactly. But that pride parade is sexual, and that is the main problem. Yeah.
Even though I'd still be concerned about that. I'm just going to read that again, Bloodwing, because I don't think you registered that in your head at all.
Okay.
It's their right as queer spawn.
That's impossible.
Because those kids somehow know that they're gay.
Yeah. Well, any way you look at it, that's impossible. The first one, if you look at it this way, as the kid being gay, no, they're too young to know if they are or not. Yeah, if you look at it the other way, as being queer spawn, as in the spawn of queer, that is biologically impossible. Sorry. Yeah, you can adopt, but no, you're not having kids.
It might be read in that way. I don't know. It's their right as queer spawn, and as a parent, I might want to take my kids to Pride because they might be lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, or two-spirit, whatever the fuck that means. Bergman takes his children to the Toronto Pride every year. Yeah, and I bet they'll grow up to be well-adjusted individuals, I'm sure. Bergman, David Rayside, a retired politics and sexual diversity professor at the University of Toronto, told Huffington Post that he's seen thousands of kids at Pride, and they're all going to grow up to be fucking degenerate serial killers, I'm sure. And I've never seen anyone fuss about what they see there. Yeah, because they're being led there by more degenerates. Pride has always been a kind of outrageous, has had a kind of outrageous edge to it. And should we alter that? Well, if you can have kids, then yes. It is not the Santa Claus parade. It never was. But don't take kids there then. It shouldn't be. It can't be, the former professor noted. Parker Chapel, whatever, the executive director of Calgary Pride, also agreed that children should attend Pride parades.
Why can't it be? Why can't? Let me interrupt you for a second there. Why can't it be? Why can't it be the Santa Claus parade? Why can't it be family friendly? Why can you not march for your sexual rights or what have you, whatever it is you're marching for, and not do it in a way that is disgustingly degenerate?
Yeah. Why can't you have clean art, clean poems, clean groups, clean market stalls, a clean bloody parade, respecting the fact that there were Stonewall riots, and remember that and retell it, in a respectful manner, so that children could learn about it. But no.
That's what I mean when I say, I'm not real familiar with the gay community. I don't involve myself with it. And I know I have gay people, I have trans people that follow me, and I think they do because I don't make a difference, because I don't care. I don't make a deal out of it. Okay. So why are you? God. That was me hitting my forehead, people.
It's disgusting. They go on to mention the kid in the LGBT pride who was like twerking and stuff, and they of course mentioned the drag kid Desmond.
Yeah, I just can't believe that the gay community at large agrees with this stuff. I just can't believe that. You know, because apart from their sexuality, I'd like to think that they're people just like we are. You know, this by we, I mean the straight people. You know, it's just a different sexuality.
But guys, we have about 4 minutes left. We'll take a few minutes of questions, and then we'll do one. We'll then do one. Oh, I'm really annoyed about this election now.
Yeah,
I really wanted Dominic Raab.
Yeah, Batman, I assume that's probably the case, that they're just afraid to speak up. You're right. Because I have seen instances where somebody in the gay community speaks up to something, you know, that somebody else in the gay community does. And boy, have mercy, they are vicious. You want to talk about a vicious community.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't comment on it because I'm like, whoo, I'm not getting in that. I'm just going to stand back and watch. Ebony Williams says yogurt or ice cream. I'm an ice cream guy.
Oh, it depends on the yogurt though. But I love ice cream as well. No, yeah. Ice cream. I choose ice cream. I choose ice cream. Give me ice cream or give me death.
The next 6 minutes is, do you like guacamole on your breakfast tacos? I don't know, because I can't say that I've ever ate a breakfast taco. Breakfast burritos, yes. Breakfast taco, I don't think I've ever ate one.
It's raining tacos.
Thank you, Owen Harmon, for the donation. That's it. I don't care who you love. I respect all folk because I want to be respected. It's enlightened self-interest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, you know, the gay community, like especially the old school gay community, fought for a lot, went through a lot.
Well, yeah, they did
to get to where they are, and it's just you've got these freaking degenerates now who just like the gay community used to have to deal with people calling them pedophiles because of their sexuality and stuff. Well, and like, that must have been horrific. And now you've got people like this who aren't exactly doing much to inspire confidence that is not filled to the brim full of pedos. Perfectly fair delusions, don't worry about it. Like, I read shit like this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, in my own lifetime, when I was a kid, there were places you could be arrested for being gay.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know, in my lifetime. And I'm not that old, folks. I'm just 59. It's really not that old.
And ironically enough, as I know, like lots of people like to take the piss out of me saying, "Oh, Navy gay, Navy gay." But you know, I once met an old naval police officer who was still serving when I joined up, and his job used to be to hunt down gay people. It used to be very much illegal in our armed forces to be gay.
Yeah,
you know, and of course, it used to be an arrestable offense. You know.
So yeah, they've come a long way in my lifetime. I mean, a long way. And then you have people like we just read about that seem to want to undermine that and just ruin it.
Joel Brown says, "Aria Bear, why do they exclude bisexuals from the LGBT community?" It's not that they exclude them; it's just that there's a lot of bigotry towards them, and that's like a genuine thing. And I hate to say it, but what's her face, Marina Sharp, did a great video on it with data that's actually like I checked her data and stuff, and it's all good. Her sources and whatnot. I think it's because bi people usually have a preference for one of the genders, but can go either way.
Right.
And it's kind of like it's, you know, people don't like fence sitters. I think that's the case with them. I don't think that they like bisexual people because they can go either way, and then they can appear to be straight one minute and then be gay the next. You know, it's
Mama Minnie says, I have a question. Who wants rhubarb pie? Meanie. You know I do. I will always take rhubarb pie. I don't think ever in my life have I ever turned down a piece of rhubarb pie, nor do I see that happening anytime in the future.
Oh, I agree with Mr. Dax. The LGBT community is not as inclusive as they make out to be.
Oh no, absolutely
not. There's a lot of bi bigotry, and there's a lot of TERFs which come in the form of big, fat, hairy lesbians.
RJ Bansma, I know you've asked the question a few times. Thoughts on this weekend's race being on Sonoma's classic layout? I really don't have much thoughts. I hadn't thought about it. So sorry to disappoint you. I really don't have any. But oh, gee, many Christmas! Look at that. It's that time, folks.
It's that time,
and it slipped right away from me.
Which I better release my video then. Let's see if it's been remonetized.
Which is a good thing, because if I don't realize what time it is and it just goes by fast, it means I was having a good time. So, and I hope the rest of you all had just as good a time as I did. Thank you, chap, for coming out and supporting the stream in all the ways that you do. I've said it many times, and I will keep saying it until you're sick of me saying it. This couldn't happen without you. So appreciate you. Thank you, Bear, for coming out as always. And anything you want to shill?
Yes.
The upcoming video, I'm sure, but
yes, I'm just going to see whether it's been monetized yet. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Oh, it hasn't. I don't know if I should wait another half an hour to see if it'll go green. Oh, do you know what? Fuck it, I'll just release it. It's fine. Just give me a moment so I can so I can release it and then give you the link. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Yeah, guys, this is a video that I recorded and uploaded earlier. It's about the mainstream media going after the Fortnite and pointing out how children are being, well, I suppose turned into little monsters through it. And of course, like there's no responsibility being placed on the parents. And the second half of the video is actually myself reading boomer parent Fortnite reviews, which are hilarious. So it's definitely worth the price of admission, guys. The price of admission.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Michael Warner, for shilling the video. Yeah. Michael just shared it. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that.
Go check it out. Go check it out. Anyway, as I said, thank you to everybody. Please be sure to tune in Thursday at 2:30 EST for the next episode of Redneck Radio. But until then, as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.